Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Starseed Immersion podcast. Today, I have a very exciting guest with me. Her name is Charlotte Szivak, and she is an international bestselling author, award-winning oracle, and a cosmic channel whose work has been featured on radios, print, and across global podcasts and stages. For over 23 years, Charlotte has toured Canada and since 2008 has led sacred retreats to Egypt, Hawaii, Sedona, guiding thousands through powerful initiations of remembrance. And through her forthcoming books, Oracle Decks and Transmissions, Charlotte supports starseeds in reclaiming their sovereignty, awakening their voice, and embodying their living temple. What an honor to have you here with me today, Charlotte. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh my goddess, thank you for, I just love how this all connected, how it all, the universe brought us together. It's beautiful. I'm very honored to be here and excited to see where this is going to go, what kind of portals we're going to open up and who we're going to connect to. So it's always exciting when we do these kind of things. So great to be here.
Absolutely, me too. And I've like the moment I saw your website and like
Mhm.
felt into your energy, I absolutely loved the frequencies and the energies that were coming through, especially with Egypt, with the multidimensional aspects. And like I would love to hear a little bit about your personal background and journey. How did you um open up to this space, this ascension space?
Uh, I keep telling people that I've been doing this for about 6,000 years. And when I was born, it was a new moon solar eclipse. So I was born with X-ray vision. So I could actually see through the aura body hologram and I could see like images coming off the organs, the tissues. So when I was a child, I totally did not understand what was going on. But I always knew there was something, it was just something that there was something bigger, animals. But the other thing too is I didn't think it was anything special because I honestly thought everybody could do it. So it was it was a very bizarre childhood growing up and being able to connect with animals and seeing guides and spirits and so and then a couple years go by and you just kind of get away from that because I had very intense European, very strict parents. So they didn't know what was wrong with me. And I couldn't explain it because, of course, this was before all of social media time and being able to, talk about like even what an empath was. So I had no idea. So it was a very interesting childhood, let's just say. And it's incredible how you just find your way through. But it was like nothing was making sense as I was taking steps forward. But then when I looked backwards, I was like, wow, this now all completely makes sense. And I was drawn to being an oracle, being a psychic. And so I did that. And I'm still doing it to this day, where I go on tour and clients around the world. I'm very grateful. And it's been an incredible experience because actually, I shouldn't say incredible, it feels more like extraordinary is the right word because, the ordinary becoming extraordinary. And then I remember when the Palladians and the Syrians started showing up. It was about 2006 and 2007. And I was out for a hike in the woods, just, charging my energy up for the day's sessions. And then I started to see these incredibly beautiful beings with these blue sparkling robes, and I was at this incredible, beautiful waterfalls. I actually live in what they call the waterfalls capital of the world. And they came running down the sides of the cliffs towards the water. And I was like, wow, who are these people? And their energy was just so radiant. And they introduced themselves as the Palladians. They said they've been around. And they usually come about 100 years before a planet goes through an ascension. And they were here, but they've always been here because they've been so connected with Egypt, and that it was time for me to recalibrate and to start moving up into the higher realms of doing energy work. I'd been doing energy work at that point, maybe for about 10 years, but it was just, getting like the foundation laid in so that I could make sure that I wasn't going to blow out my body from all the high frequencies that were coming. So it was a really incredible time. And growing up and evolving, and it was always one step after another. And when Pluto went into Capricorn, which I think was in 2008, is when I really started to delve into also shadow work and doing alchemy. And it's just been a wild ride. And then through the course of building the frequency, building the energies, traveling to vortexes across the planet. I mean, I've been to Sedona 7 times. I've been to Egypt twice, and just even just excuse me, to Sedona, confirmed the energy's coming through, heading to the different stargates that were there, and connecting with the vortexes like Bell Rock or Boynton Canyon were always incredible because they brought in so much information, so much light codes. And again, sometimes there was just no words to describe what was happening because there it was almost like we were not ahead of time, but it was the ancient future, but we were remembering, all like loaded into one thing at once. So it got a little confusing. So decrypting everything was incredibly wild. For a few years before I stepped into fully being working as an intuitive, I worked in the film industry. So I was in a couple of movies, and it was a really incredible experience to be in a setting where people were so intuitive already. So that really helped to harness some of the energies that I was going through. And I was doing a lot of healing work at the time as well. So it was always like I was preparing. And then just everything seemed to click in 2007. And I started touring in 2003, and then I started to do vortexes and spiritual site tours in 2008, which was my first trip to Sedona. So it's just been building upon building over the years of going and connecting to other people like yourself, and meeting other healers and shamans, and connecting with the galactics, as then they started to show me sound frequencies and healing and energy work and singing. And it's just like, it's such an incredible ride. And you move into these, there's so many things available to you to connect, to heal as a soul, as a person, that it's amazing how much magic filters through your life when you surrender and you stop trying to control, and when you really embrace your shadow, your pain. And it's interesting because alchemy and shadow work is, you think that, it's, you start off, you do some very deep work, but it goes on for years. And I'm still doing shadow work, and it's just like, are you kidding me? But what's really incredible about it is that, you start off on a planetary level, then you start doing shadow work on a galactic level, a universal level, then you start clearing out like the Orion Wars, and you have all these images coming up and visions, and you see the galactic wars, the galactic transformations, the alchemy, like the light language. It's just, there's so much to say that there isn't one or two words that can actually embody it or express it. So the best way to connect to it is to embody it. And I love what you said. You feel it. When you feel in, or you fell into the website, I thought that was great. That's how it works. You feel into it. And, the internet for me was a bit of a difficult contention, because it was like, I'm so sacred when I'm in the physical realms. How do you become sacred or put sacred online? It was a battle for a couple of years. So it's been an extraordinary journey, and I've met some beautiful souls, incredible teachers, and been to some magnificent places, and had some of the most mind-blowing experiences. 5 a.m. on the Isle of Philae, which is Isis's temple in Egypt, and meeting Hathor, and then being at Hatshepsut's incredible chamber at sunrise, or singing in Saqqara in one of the temples, and then one of the statues scared me. I mean, there's just so many stories. And of course, the Galactics, when you meet them, or the Jedis, and there's just so much. And I mean, how do you put it all into one word? You can't. The best was this year too. I had a really incredible activation. I couldn't sleep one night. You can hear the horns, so it means confirmation. And I just couldn't sleep. And I went out And I sat out on my deck. It was like 1:30 in the morning, and this meteorite came crashing through the atmosphere, literally exploded, I don't know, maybe 200 yards from where I was, in the most beautiful emerald green I've ever seen, and lit up everything. And I knew it was an activation. I knew it was another message coming through. But when I also looked at the time of the day of when it came, it happened to be in between the day out of time and Egyptian New Year. So there are no coincidences. Things happen. You meet people all around the world. You connect with people. And just like here now with the internet, it's amazing how we can connect in real time, and how many thousands of miles are we away from each other. And it's just all here. So it's an incredible journey, and can't wait to see what's next.
Wow, I feel like you tapped into so many energy fields, talking about your experience from just your awakening experience, or even in childhood, moving into the more higher realms. And even before the
Hmm.
call, saying how grounding is an important part because when you were so high up, you got psychically attacked. So I'm
Yeah.
curious, right? Like, how do we, as multidimensionals, navigate between the 3D and then the higher dimensions? Because I feel like with the ascension, we are remembering and we are tapping into
Hmm.
multitudes. But then, like, part of the process is also bringing that back down here on Earth and then
Yes.
living like a soul aligned life.
You remind me actually of one of my favorite temples. Well, they're all my favorite temples in Egypt, but and then the ones I didn't even know about that just absolutely blew my mind, Habu. But there is a temple in Saqqara, and it has the pyramid text on it. And if you want, we can Google an image and put it in afterwards so that it's available to everybody. But when you walk into this temple and pyramid, sorry, you have to crawl under the pyramid to get into it. The pyramid text is the ceiling of this room that has the text on it, has the five pointed stars everywhere. And it represents when the human becomes divine and when the divine becomes human, the star. So it's not just about ascension, it's also about descension. Because sometimes people get confused. They think ascension is about leaving the body and going to heaven, but it's actually bringing heaven down here into our hearts and bringing it into earth. And that's why we have the cross, where you see the horizontal and the vertical levels, because that is the inception of heaven on earth, the connection. And then we have the Ankh as well too, which connects with the womb, which shows you the breath of life, which is also the stargate to birth into our future, and or birth the energies. I keep getting breath. But when you're in Saqqara and you see the pyramid text, what you do, and if we get a picture of it, I used to have one beside my bed for years. So I would look at it before going to bed. So that was the last thing I saw, and my subconscious mind would activate. And you look at it, but you try to look at it by not staring at it. And you allow the images to take flight and the images to bring the story to you, so that you get the messages that activate the light codes within your DNA structure. And it can also activate some of the ancestral genetic line and lineage to heal, release, not just from this lineage, but you can go into the galactic lineages, which we all have galactic connections, to awaken you further to your path. But that is one of the wisdom teachings that I would love to bring to you all to connect with, so that for all of you who are also on your journey, you can connect to this beautiful text and just look at it, go into a meditative state. When you actually go to this temple, there's a little secret that happens there as well too, which you have to shine a light on a certain part of the pyramid or on the temple walls, and an image comes out. But I'm going to leave it at that so that you actually have to go to Egypt and check it out and see for yourself. But it's a very cool, like the things they did, the technologies that they had was just incredible. You just made me think of Sekhmet as well, too, being to her chapel and some of the incredible messages she's come forward with. Egypt is an enigma. It is such a beautiful, incredible place to be. And I hope that all of you have a chance at least one time in your life to go and visit it because you'll never forget it.
I love that. And it was so interesting because this year there's been a lot of discovery in Egypt as well. Like
Hmm.
I was in a session
Right.
time and I received a vision of an ancient city in Egypt being discovered. And it was there, and then the news came out that they discovered an ancient city underwater in Egypt. And I was
Yeah.
painting this too. And I painted the Pharaoh Ramses II, and it was just intuitively guided because I had to use Google as a image. I felt
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
drawn to that specific image as like a reference. And then when the news came out about it, they said one of the sphinxes that was found had Ramses II carved into it.
Wow.
And I was like, we are
You're
connected.
having a flashback of one of your past lives, is what you're having.
No, but it was discovered recently. It was discovered on August 21st. And I got the
Wow.
vision right around that same week. So I think whatever energy was in the field of the discovery
Hmm.
landed, and I was like painting it. And then on 9/9,
Incredible.
the portal 9/9, September 9th,
Of course.
I came across an article. It was a video that described the article that they found this ancient city in Egypt. I was like, gosh, this is incredible. But even being able to tap into the energies of now,
Hmm.
what you're describing of going to these sacred sites and connecting to the energies and the memories that are there, it
And what
all,
reawakens within you.
yes, oh my
And
gosh.
they say too that Egypt there's only been 30% of Egypt been discovered because it's so buried under sand. So
Mm.
there's way more to come. So that's incredible. There's so much more coming.
Like the copper coils, right? The copper coils that were found under the pyramids. How
Not
did they
surprised,
do that?
honestly. Not surprised. Excuse me.
So, so
There's been
one of
so many discoveries. I was in Egypt and it was 2 years ago. And literally, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks after I left, they shut down the pyramids. And that's when I think it was through that period. And then I went back again and it was open again. So we went back. I was like, thank you. I want to feel the energy here. So honestly, wasn't surprised. The pyramids are so much more, and being to them, it's not a tomb. Absolutely not. It's the energy is so powerful there. And I've been in the king's chamber. I've even sung in the king's chamber. And it's the resonance that echoes through the chambers. And when you lie inside the sarcophagus is just you can't put it into words, and the clarity of what you feel, it's definitely a field. And of course, I'm sure you're aware of how they also have those little portal holes to Sirius and to Orion outside of the or inside of the pyramid that aligns with the chambers. So the technology is so advanced. And what I keep getting about that too with the copper coils is it's even beyond what we think. Like the words don't exist yet that we're able to describe what it is. So it's a process, and it's how collectively we're also ready to acknowledge and listen or be ready for it. Because they say too that it was Stargate wars and they shut down the Stargates because of what was on the other side. So we got to be ready for, there's so much to it. It's not just, you know,
It's so much more than healing, is what I'm hearing. It's so much more than just
absolutely.
healing ourselves. It's like this.
Technology is mind blowing. And especially when you go to the hospital in Saqqara and you go into the underground chambers where they have all those sarcophagi, and it's like, how did they get this under here? It's mind blowing. They say it's the Nephilim, but there's so many different theories about it. So there's so many incredible people you can listen to as well that have their theories, and see what vibes with you, or tune in for yourself as well too and see what you can get. Just like what you were getting, Nikki, when you were drawing the city being discovered underwater.
That's so amazing. And you had talked about like the galactics coming through when it was time. So
Mhm.
I'm starting to notice, and even for me personally, they came when I had a foundation. Like I started off as, oh, like 3D awareness, introduced to healing, getting certified in
Mhm.
healing, working on channeling, getting certified in channeling. And then when the channel was open enough, started like getting activation. So it was like a
Frequency.
it was the frequency. Oh my God, I'm glad you said it was a frequency too. I saw it more like a progression, right? Like working in the lower frequencies, moving up higher and higher.
Mhm.
So I'm curious and those that are listening, like, oh, I want to connect to my galactic soul group, or I want to, I want to channel and access these higher technologies. Like,
Right.
how would they do that?
So it's interesting. I was listening to what you were saying about going up like a sort of like a stairs, right?
Yeah.
So we want to look at it like a spiral. And I got an image of the flower of life for you right now. And what would be amazing is to get the flower of life and trace it so that it can infuse your pituitary and your pineal gland. When you trace the symbol, it is a stargate. It's one of the most powerful stargates of sacred geometry. It will awaken the other quadrants within your brain, and it will dissolve the wall between your left and your right brain hemisphere so that you can become full brain illumination. So it sounds like when you were saying about traveling up like this on levels, that you're going through still trying to work on a left brain, and we need to connect you with your right brain. Or it's the other way around. I always get confused. But because spirituality is out of time and space.
Yes.
So when we connect from this angle, it's an unraveling. So that's why they say the braided currents of Sirius and the Pleiades. They have a braided current that comes together. And when you've aligned with that, usually it's always the Pleiades that come first because they want to prepare your body so that the soul can descend into the physical body structure. And then you have the embodiment and the feminine. And then energetically, that's when the Arcturians show up. They have the most advanced technologies in the universe. And whenever you're looking to do any type of healing work, energy work, they are one of the best ones to call upon because their technology is so utterly mind blowing and so healing. You can use it for DNA transfigurations, transmissions, even to like rewiring of the brain, alignment, the temples. There's so many incredible things that they do. And when you can connect with all of them, it's like you said, you're building and building and building the building blocks, bringing it together. But also, too, you made me think of Nikola Tesla because he has this quote that he says that when you think in terms of vibration, frequency, and energy, everything is revealed to you.
Mhm.
So it's not about what you see, it's about what you feel. And as you build upon that and anchor it, all the doors open. One of my favorite stories, and it's funny, I was in the pyramids, I was walking up inside, and I was thinking about Napoleon of all people. I'm like, why am I thinking about Napoleon? But he kept saying that he was, granted by God to be the emperor, and so only he was allowed to go into the king's chamber and nobody else. And he went up by himself, and he said he was supposed to spend the night in the temple by himself, but or sorry, in the king's chamber by himself. But he freaked out and he ran out screaming in the middle of the night. And they said even on his deathbed, he almost told his nursemaid what it was that he experienced in the king's chamber, but then he thought twice about it and was like freaked out. But the message about this story with Napoleon is that, yes, people will always try to abuse the power, or, there's always going to be that element, but it is an aspect of learning the lessons as well. It's alchemy. But these sacred sites don't always open up. They open up to the frequency level that you are at. They mirror you. So when you go to these sacred sites, go as clear as you possibly can so that you can get the highest timeline, the highest vibration. And so many are working on themselves now and realizing too one of the how important too alchemy is and dealing with the shadow to connect and how much help is available out there for all of us with our galactic brothers and sisters, that it really opens up the doors. The Syrians will offer you the sound and resurrection codes and tuning forks and sacred geometry. And the Palladians will give you the love, the compassion, and the divine nurturance to expand and open up your heart. And they help you each way by building. And you can ask them too. You can ask even to sit in an ascension seat and ask to feel the downpouring of core love and light and do it for like 2 hours. And you can just even like do it as a multidimensional thing so that while you're even doing healing work or readings or whatever you may be doing with it, you're also receiving, you're filling up so that you can allow the current to flow through you and out so that it can enhance and expand everything that you're doing. It's really incredible as you raise your light frequency or light quota, how all these doors open up to you.
And um, some of the things I remember receiving like a transmission that like we work with
Mhm.
specific light councils. So would you
Mhm.
speak on that? Like, do we have our own divine unique mission and unique councils that we work with? Are we able to tap into all kinds of
My
councils?
understanding is that we do, but we also have karma councils that we can also connect to and speak with. If you want to go and maybe look at contracts, I have this meditation that I do usually every New Year's Eve. Since 2009, I've done it, except the last 2 years since I've been going to Egypt in December. And where we connect into the Akashic records and clear the contracts of the past of that year and then go holographically travel to the Sphinx, because the Sphinx is what holds the lessons, the timelines, the contracts of not just this life that we have right now, but all the incarnations we've ever had while we've been on this planet. And when you clear through the Akashic records, of course, it raises your vibrational frequency so that you can connect to the next set of challenges, lessons, and people who you're supposed to meet and the doors that are supposed to open up for you. So there is also that as well. And you can just call in your councils of light. And there's healing councils, healing teams. Um, there's so many. You can, even if you're not sure who to call on, of course, make sure you do your sacred space first and then call on, well, who would help with this? And you can always, I find Archangel Michael's usually really good at coming and, giving you if you need to talk to or connect. It's so funny. The Elohim just showed up. So that's usually the throne of grace. Ooh, just got chills. And the Seraphim. So sound, light frequencies, codes, and Vega. You must like sound, tuning forks and crystal bowls.
For me, it's interesting
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
recently have been hearing them and then but I hear and then I did
Amazing.
remember somebody was saying singing. Like you had mentioned so much about singing. One of my speakers was saying, oh, like she pulled a card for me at the end and she was like, oh, something about singing.
Mhm.
She's like, are you singing? And I was like, I've been vocalizing randomly throughout the
Toning, you're
day.
toning. That's an activation. Girl, you got to come to Egypt. It's a fifth chakra. And you know what's really great too for toning? Get yourself some lapis lazuli and wear it as a necklace around you. And it's amazing how it opens up your throat chakra so that you can speak, you can communicate. So interesting. Anubis just showed up and he says that you're dealing with releasing some of the old wounds of the past lifetimes where you were a priestess, where you were in vows of silence, where you would go to your death without divulging any of those secrets. So now it's coming to the point where you're opening yourself up that you can speak again. So if you've been feeling like you've been having blockages here, this is related from this. Also, too, I keep seeing crystal skulls around you. Have you been attracted to crystal skulls
Not
as of late?
particularly, like not
Not
lately.
yet.
Yeah. I have like a
So
teeny
crystal
little one
skulls.
from
No,
like
that's okay. That's still a listen, size doesn't matter when it comes to rocks. So those little ones can really give you a pow while they just awaken you. And but crystal skulls, what they used to do is they would pour the information. Okay, I think I'm getting confused because I'm seeing visions. So because I'm seeing a room full of many priestesses and they're being given an ultimatum, which is defend the temple and die or just take poison. And it's unfortunate that it's like that. But what I'm seeing is it's not about being upset about the fact that you have to pass. It's because the fear of the knowledge being lost, the sacred knowledge being lost. So what they would do is they would pour the information into the crystal skulls to be retrieved at a later date. So the crystal skull actually represents the mind of God and the mind of light. So as you're being reconnected to it, it means your upper higher chakras are also opening up to higher frequencies, higher consciousness, and to reclaiming and remembering the wisdom of the ancients that we use for the future. It's interesting because they're also showing me the scrolls of Alexandria. And even though I know I always cry when I think about the library being burned and all the information, but my guides have always told me that the information was never lost. It's just in the etheric realms now. And we can still access it just like the Akashic records. So there's no fear about losing anything because the truth is that it's just a frequency. We have to just raise our frequency to be able to connect with it. Confirmed. There's the horn.
It is confirmed
So,
because it's so interesting how you read that. Because even like very recently, actually, I got even from the Egyptian sun god Ra that the wisdom
mhm,
keys are now rising. And I had
mhm.
created it was like a membership portal where we would channel and remember the
Oh,
like the
wow.
Akashic wisdom, right? Like we would come together to channel this information to bring it through once again. And that was one of the offerings that I was
And
given.
especially when you do it with a group, your frequency is even higher. So
Yeah.
you can reach higher states.
Oh my God. And then the room of the priestesses that you were talking about, I was also receiving a 5-month priestess program for next year that was coming through. So definitely those energies are right there in the field.
So many.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of that. And then you had also written living as the temple. Like, would you share what that means to all of us here?
I'm sorry, I missed that last part. All I heard was temple.
Yes, one of your bullet points that you wanted to speak on was living as the temple. Like we live as the
Oh, the living temple. Yes.
Yes.
Human and cosmic. Yeah, it is not just about galactic memories. It's about how we live with them in the here and the now, when we speak with truth, with clarity, with opening. And we are the portals, we are the temples, we are the living light. You choose wholeness again and again and again and connect into healing yourself so that when you step into this embodiment and treating yourself as the temple, some doors only open from within. And you will always find that you don't have to worry about being in the right place or the right time because every breath, every choice, every decision, every vision makes you feel like you are literally living your life as an initiation. You are in the magic of the unraveling of embodying your highest unlimited potential, your highest timeline. So we are all temples. And actually, Luxor is in Egypt as well as the temple of man. And it helps you to also connect to every part of your organ tissue body, the waters of your body, the bones, the blood, the molecular structure, that they are all also a part of the temple. They hold the energy. They have awakened. So we're in an incredible time right now. We all agreed to be here. And yes, it looks like the world is in absolute chaos, but that's what happens when the caterpillar eats and goes into its cocoon before it becomes a whole new world and emerges as the butterfly. So, as crazy as everything seems right now, we actually really are right on schedule.
Amazing. It's so amazing. And thank you for sharing that. I know so many of us listening in are like, oh, yes. Like we feel that
Every time
resonance.
you open up social media,
Oh my God. I know
your nervous system is like, oh no, now what?
I stay away from social media as often as I can. Like, but it's been challenging this year. It's like
Hmm.
distractions and then also it's like that polarity, right? So it's just having this awareness that we do go in spirals, like you said. We go to clear the shadow and then we ascend and then we go and clear the shadow. Well, thank you so much, Charlotte, for all the amazing intuitive guidance and transmissions that you've been sharing with us throughout this whole interview. I would love to invite us into the experiential phase. I mean, this whole interview was experiential, but like the energetic activation piece. I know you have something special for us. Would you like to kind of give us a little bit of insight before guiding us through?
So we will start off. I'm going to call it the cosmic and Earth Kundalini activation, so that we can align your physical body structure and allow the energies to come in, so that your soul can descend into your physical body. You'll feel more embodied afterwards, more grounded, more presence and more energy within your physical body. This whole conversation was incredible too, because it's not just about the stars, it's about you. And we're here to reclaim your voice, open your heart, heal your shadow, and remember that your body is a living temple of light. So take a deep clearing breath, inhale through the nose and exhale, and bring your focus, to the ladies listening to this, to your womb, to the gentleman, your root chakra, and visualize the tube of light, the width of your body, going into the center of the earth, connecting us to the crystalline core heart center of the Earth Mother. And then feel the energy rising up, a beautiful ruby red, Earth Kundalini frequency of light. And feel all the nourishment and energy as it flows up through the soles of your feet and the base of your spine, pouring into every organ and tissue, down past the blood, and into the subatomic particle levels where there's nothing but space. And feel the energy rising up, moving up through the chakras until it reaches your heart center. And as you feel the energy of this beautiful ruby red energy of the Earth Kundalini flowing up, we ask to activate the cosmic Kundalini, connecting us to the grand central sun. And feel the energies beginning to flow down, a beautiful luminescent golden white light, filled with all the fire letters, key codes, sacred geometries, in accordance with your resonance and vibratory rate. And feel the energy as it pours down like a tube of light into your crown chakra, pouring and bathing and saturating your third eye. And just feel the energy continuing down through your throat, your atlas, and pouring into your heart center, where it meets and connects with the Earth Kundalini. And feel this mixture synchronistically aligning, merging together in your heart chakra. And just feel it together as it flows down over your reproductive system, into your perineum, and then feel it as it flows up through each individual chakra, each individual vertebrae, elongating, expanding your cosmic rod of life. And feel it flowing back upwards till it reaches your throat chakra. Pouring back down this combination of the earth kundalini and cosmic kundalini energies, flowing over your chest, down your reproductive organs, your stomach, and back up again. But this time, feel the energy rise up, almost like a god rising up through each individual vertebrae till it reaches your throat chakra. And see it now splitting into 3 different directions. Feel it as it washes over your shoulders, down and out your arms and out each individual fingertip, awakening your healing abilities further, expanding, and then rising up like a water fountain through your inner cranium. Feel it come forward through your third eye and crown and turning into like a water fountain. Feel it washing out over your beautiful body and hologram. Feel your nervous system calming. We ask to activate all of your God crystals and seed packets, replacing them with the new frequencies. And we want to call in your higher self, your most radiant, luminescent self, and see the soul flow down before you. It is an etheric double and looks exactly like you, but it is luminescent. And feel it lining up in front of you, eye to eye, soul to soul, divine to divine. And reach out with the palms of your physical hands to connect with the palms of your soul's hands. And you'll begin to feel an electric energy flowing through the palms and flowing up your arms and into your heart center. And as you look at yourself, say the Ho'oponopono, I love you. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you. And see your higher self now step behind you. And see a beautiful golden thread flow out from your crown chakra in an infinity loop to the crown chakra of your higher self, down to the third eye, from your physical self to your higher self, back in an infinity loop until it travels all the way down to your root chakra. And feel your higher self now step into your physical body structure. You may begin to feel a greater sense of peace, stillness, and expanded space. And take a deep clearing breath, inhaling through the nose and exhaling to truly anchor this luminescent space. We ask your monad to activate your Merkaba. Spin the inner Merkaba to the right, the outer Merkaba to the left, to help ground, solidify, and anchor all that has been called forth at this time. And bringing your focus back, ladies to your womb, gentlemen to your root. Release the tube of light that was there before and place a new tube of light down into the center of the earth. Aligning you to your highest timeline. We ask to place a golden cocoon around you, and we ask for the Isis knot to come forward and to actualize you, wrapping you up like a baby, but helping to actualize all that has been called forth at this time. All this protection is good for 24 hours, and then you are on your own to call in yours after. And taking another deep, clearing breath, breathing consciousness back into your body. Begin to wiggle your fingers, your toes. And when you feel that it is the right time, open your eyes.
Thank you so much, Charlotte. You know, it was so interesting. I felt the energy expanding, but I felt something right here, my like a vein,
Mm.
some kind of twitch. Like it was like a dent in my eyebrow for a long time until you closed out the energy and then it just like released.
Wow. Let's see what's going to happen with your third eye now.
Do you know anything about it being on one specific side? Because it was on the left. Wait, this is the right side. This is the left side. Like
The
left
right side. So in Egypt temples, the mystery schools, they had a left eye of Ra and a right eye of Ra and a full eye of Ra.
Oh,
So depending on what your specific abilities were, or talents, because some of us are more logical, some of us are more intuitive, you would go to either the left or the right eye of Ra, so that you would eventually become the full eye of Ra, which would be both sides. So that's why the flower of life, excuse me, the symbol of the flower of life is so important, because it helps you to fuse the two together. So it could have been releasing the blockages. And I'm sorry, you said the right eye?
it was the left side. It like twitched. Like it was like
The left
a
side. So
thing.
it was releasing the blockages. Could have been the intuition, or maybe any blockages that you had placed from other lifetimes, from maybe not allowing yourself to see or to maybe connect, or out of fear. So the left side is also feminine. So it could be divine feminine, coming more forward, being able to see more clearly with your intuition and seeing through the illusion. So
Cool.
you'll see in the coming days, weeks, and months how it's going to take hold on you, because this activation will shift you. So it's a phenomenal activation, because it's so simple, but it is so profound, because it works on so many different layers of your soul.
Oh, well, thank you for sharing that activation, Charlotte. And as we
My
come to a
pleasure.
beautiful close with this transmission, you have a gift for the audience members. Could you share that with us?
I do. I have a free Galactic Ascension complex, or Codex, that is going to be gifted to you. It's an ebook about some of our brothers and sisters, the Galactics, some shadow work, how to heal some of the shadow work, how to connect. You'll find there's an alchemy path in it as well, too, helping you with how to work through your integration, and transmutation and embodiment. It'll also introduce you to a bit more of the Arcturian technologies and chambers of light, and give you just a little bit more to help you with the next steps. There's also some journal prompts that it will help you with to connect into a deeper resonance with yourself, and some crystals that will help with crystal magic, and some affirmations as well too. So it's a little jam-packed little booklet that you'll be receiving. And thank you so much for letting us, for this interview today. It was wonderful to be here and to connect. So I hope you enjoy the ebook. If you have any questions with it, please don't hesitate to connect. And there's a lot of incredible some stores of information in it, and it'll be wild to see how it activates you as you read the lines. And the book itself is meant to help you to connect to the next state of your consciousness.
Yes. And would you share with us some of your current offerings if anyone is interested in working with you, um,
Oh, thank you.
and how they can find you?
Yes, we have one-on-ones. I do readings, mentorship, and I also have a year program for the goddess, the Sophia Magdalene, which is the Divine Feminine Spiral, which we do through the Grail Gates and various mentorship activations. And I also do retreats. And my next retreat will be next year to Egypt in November of 2026. So the wait list is definitely open for that. So it is an honor and a pleasure to be here and to serve and to be in service to the divine, to humanity. And I look forward to connecting to all who are called.
Thank
Thank you so much, Nicki.
Thank you so much, Charlotte, and thank you everyone for tuning in. I will include Charlotte's information in the description box, so you can get her sacred offerings. And with that said, I look forward to seeing everybody in the next episode.